All right, everybody. Welcome back, Brofluent, Ep.8. We're here.
Yes,
Yet
sir.
again.
Back to back.
Brother Tom, back to back. Two. Yeah, this isn't two a week. This is technically next week.
Yeah.
We're not used to being consistent. My
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah. we're trying to improve on that, right?
Right. But we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot of NBA news.
Yeah.
Last night there was some hero ball.
Yeah.
There's some hero ball. Miami came out and went up 3-1 against the Celtics. Brother Tom, what are your takeaways, man? We're
I
gonna
didn't
start the NBA today.
I didn't watch the game last night. I was real tired. I didn't watch the game, but when I woke up, I woke up about like 6 o'clock or something. I started scrolling through my feed. I just see Tyler Hero. I'm like, 30? What did he finish with? 37 or something? I'm like,
yeah, wow.
Oh my, excuse me, what? Listen, I know Tyler's a baller, but I did not expect 37 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I started watching the highlights, just coming off a screen, pull up three, coming off a screen, pull up three, drive. The Euro step on the break around Kemba. I was like,
that was nice.
This kid was doing his thing last night, and he's like so perfect with that team. Mm-hmm. You know, Jimmy's just hyping him up. You always see Jay Crowder hyping him up. It was it's funny, the list I saw a list. It was like Tyler Hero joins like Kareem and
Magic.
Just
Derrick Rose, I saw was on one,
and be like the age of 21 or younger or something like that. I was just like, this kid's legit. Like when he was drafted, I was like, well, you know, was that a little bit of a reach? But I think it was like 13th or something. He's a good shooter, but can he dribble? Can he attack the basket? And he's I mean, I thought he was good, but he's exceeded expectations. And I think this Heat team is just a cool team to watch.
I agree. See, I've always been a fan of Tyler Hero. I thought he was nice at Kentucky. The question I had for a lot of people was, does this stamp him as the best ball his life player now? He's the best of the ball his life kids, maybe. But maybe. I mean, I didn't expect it this soon.
No.
I really didn't expect it this soon. He's a problem. Like, he's a problem. He's entering the conversation of like a good young player to build around. Right. And I know they have Bam, but maybe he could be the Jamal Murray to Bam, just be that good second option when Jimmy ages. But Miami looked nice, man. It looks like they're finals bound. Jason Tatum wasn't there in the first half.
Jason Tatum with 0 points into the third quarter.
But he showed up in the second half, so I like that. I mean, 28 points, I can't really sleep on that. You just came out slow. You rebounded. You did your job. But Boston's in trouble.
Before the series started, I think I said Boston in 7, just because I thought they had a little bit more, like, weapons and a little more high caliber with Tatum scoring, Brown, and Kemba. But, I mean, Jimmy Butler even hasn't had the best series either, right? Like, scoring-wise, he's not dropping, like,
he had 23 last night, but I get what you're saying.
He wasn't doing what he was doing earlier. I think with the Heat, it's just really a team effort. And I saw Kendrick Perkins tweeted, I didn't agree with it, but he said, this Miami Heat team is like the 2004 Detroit Piston team. But what he meant by it was that they don't have superstars, but they have a bunch of good players, which is true. But they don't play the same way. Like
not at all.
It was all defense. I mean, not that Miami's not playing defense, but it's just a different NBA. It's not the same thing.
Right. I mean, I'm just tired of comparing teams. Like, I think it's just, like, let this team be their team, man. This Heat's something we haven't seen. These are the Miami Bubble Boys. They got this done. I don't know what it is with them. But, like you said, it's really a team effort. Goran Dragic's been losing his mind. He had another good game last night. Jimmy Butler still had 23, even though he didn't shoot well. Tyler Hero, 37. Bam had another double-double, 20 and 10, I'm pretty sure. Like, they're just all around. They have such a good coach where it's like, hey, this was a team that – of course, and this was a team that was very slept on when – like, if you think about last offseason, Jimmy signed them. We're like, oh, Jimmy just went to get some sun. He didn't really care about a chip or anything like that. And now he's going to – it looks like he's going to be in the finals. I don't want to count Boston out yet. I think they're just in trouble because of the talent they do have. They can still rebound. I don't know about coming back from a 3-1, but forcing a game 6, I think, is likely. So, hey, man, we'll see with Miami.
We'll see. This team, they're a cool team now. I'm gonna think they're gonna win this game now, but
Mm-hmm.
or the series, but I don't like them in the finals against the Lakers. But
You don't like them in the finals against the Lakers? You like Boston better?
I don't like either of them against the Lakers, really.
I think Miami's a decent matchup. Uh, I think Bam's going to be able to guard AD better than any of the bigs in the West that he faced are going to be guarding him because he's faced what PJ Tucker, Yusuf Nurkic, and Jokic. Not really great. Defending big men.
I would agree.
And I think Bam will be able to hold them on. I think you're going to put Jimmy on Braun, and you're not going to get rid of Braun, but I think that's a good matchup too. And then I think Tyler Herro might light Danny Green the fuck up.
I think for Miami to have any chance against the Lakers, they need all around support. Dragic has to be doing his thing. Herro's got to be doing his thing. Butler obviously has to be doing his thing. Him and Bam, we know those are the all-stars.
And we don't even mention Duncan Robinson. I just feel like that team is so deep that it's going to be – now, look, if Miami wins the chip, that's some crazy shit. I don't want to sit here and say
that's a special team.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and act like it's not a big deal. Like, oh, yeah, nah, they're no slouches. They can win it. But they aren't slouches, and they do match up with the Lakers kind of well. And I think they'll give them a problem. And I think that segues us into the other side of the bracket with LA and Denver tonight, game 5. Correct?
We were texting about it. We said, I told you that I took the Nuggets +6 just because I like the bet. I said I think the Lakers are going to win, but by like 3 or whatever, it'll come down to the end.
Right.
But the Nuggets end up doing their thing and pulling it out. Murray with another nice game. Jamal Murray's really turned into, I don't want to say superstar because we're in the bubble and might not have the same pressure as when you're, on the road in LA in a game 5 or in a game, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have that kind of pressure. It's more like a scrimmage atmosphere. But the kid is just straight up balling.
Yeah, no, I think he solidified himself as a number 2 star. He can be a number 2 on a championship team. I think he's really solidified that.
Do you see him as a superstar, though? We say, is Jamal Murray a superstar?
Well, I mean, what do you define as superstar? Do you say that's top 10 or do you say that's like top 20?
It's probably top, probably top 10, I'd say.
Yeah, if it's top 10, I don't think he's top 10.
Yeah.
I think that's reserved for like James Harden, Steph Curry, LeBron, Kawhi, KD, guys like that.
Yeah.
And Jamal's in that next tier of guys where you're asking, like, is Jamal better than
a better question
D'Angelo Russell or guys like that?
Point guards, right? Is he a top 5 point guard? I think right now he's probably like 5.
I don't want to overreact because I feel like number 1 point guard, I think we're still going to both say Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's 1.
I think we'll both say Damian Lillard at 2.
Damian Lillard. I think, Russ has his problems, but he's in that range from 3 to 5.
See, I think Russ took a big drop because I think you still have to put Kyrie at 3 right now.
Okay, I'd put Kyrie in front of Russ, yeah.
And for Russ, it's hard to say he's not a top 5 point guard. But do you put Chris Paul ahead of him right now? Because Chris Paul just took – I mean, Chris Paul – my only argument for that would be Chris Paul just had a better year with Russ's old team and less than what Russ had. And then Russ went to Houston and couldn't do what Chris Paul did. So at that point, I know people can point to leadership, but I think that's a point where you can question, like, hey, is Chris Paul better than Russ? And I know that's a hard conversation. And then Jamal's in the convo. It's not like he's not. I just think, like, he's falling around like the D'Angelo Russells and the –
I definitely think he's better than Russell right now.
I think he's better than Russell right now because I've seen Russell lead a team. I haven't seen D'Angelo go this far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Same thing with like De'Aaron Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox is crazy talented. But I haven't seen him in the playoffs.
Agreed.
So I'd probably have to go through it, but I think those first 3 are definitely ahead of Jamal right now. But he can be in that 4 or 5 range. You might be able to put him over Russ or Chris Paul and guys like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So that's hard. But, I mean, to recap that game, I have a question for Anthony Davis. Yo,
bro.
No rebounds?
Oh, just go and get it. Go get off the glass.
Like 2 in the game, no rebounds till 4 minutes left in the game.
And he even said after the game, he's like, I gotta do a better job rebounding. Well, no shit, bro.
At least he admits it. I do give an athlete a little more credit when he does come out and admit something like that. So, because that's a hard thing to do, to go in front of cameras and be like, yeah, yo, I fucked up. Like,
but he might come out now and grab 20.
I don't know if he's gonna grab 20 over Jokic though.
Yeah, I know Jokic is tough down there.
Because I think Jokic stamped himself as a top 10 player.
Oh yeah, Jokic is.
I think he's 10. I think he just put himself over Joel.
Yeah. Oh, he's over Joel.
And him and Joel's still a conversation. It's just Joel's never been to the conference finals, and Jokic is just so skilled. So we can have that argument any day. I have no issues like either guy, but he's near the Lucas, like around there, the end of the top 10.
These overseas guys, bro. They take it over a little bit.
Yeah, they're a problem. A lot of these guys, like, they don't, even when you bring up guys like Pascal and obviously Doncic and Jokic and other guys around that area, like, it's nutty. Even Goran. Dragic is Dragic is putting an argument for a lot of people right now. So who knows, man? These guys are just problems in general.
They are.
Because Tyler Hero's from Wisconsin, and I don't know many. I mean, I've never been to Wisconsin, so I'm not trying to shit on y'all, but like, I don't know many Wisconsin hoopers that are really like that.
Like it's football out there, you know?
Yeah, probably. Green Bay style.
Cheeseheads out there.
Cheeseheads like that. Yeah. Oh my gosh! But in other news, man, your former head coach Billy Donovan.
Yeah, signed with the Chicago Bulls.
He's now the head coach of the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, when I heard him and OKC were part ways, I was a little surprised because I thought, this year he had a great year coaching. But I understand that. I think, he's had his time there. He had KD, he had Russ, then he had Russ's MVP year. Now he's had this cool team with CP that he took to the playoffs. I think maybe, both just wanted a change of – right, for Billy wants to change the scenery. Maybe just want new blood in there. I don't know if I love him in Chicago. I see what he did with this Thunder team, and I think it's cool, but he has a lot of veterans, that can lead the team, like CP3 and Danilo and those kind of guys. Over in Chicago, it's all youth.
Right.
And we've seen this group, which I think they have a good core of young players, but they still can't put it together. You have Levine. You have Markkanen, who we all thought, Markkanen is pretty good. But then it kind of went down a little bit. Then you have guys like Wendell Carter, who were like, he had a nice rookie year. Kind of stayed the same. But now you have Kobe White, who had a decent rookie year, I would say. Got hot at the end of the year. I think he has to be your starting point guard next year.
I think he made all rookie second team.
Yeah.
He made some.
I don't know what the reason is he wasn't starting all year. He had sometimes you're starting Archer Diacono. And I get it. Kobe's not playing good. You're like, we got to sit you. But I just let the kid, go through his mistakes.
I think Billy Donovan puts Chicago in the conversation for that 8th seed. Maybe they could unseat the Magic, who continue to be the 8th seed in the East. But I texted you about this too. We're really gonna see what kind of coach Billy Donovan is right now.
100%.
Because we're gonna see, like, Zach. Look, don't get it messed up. Zach LaVine is a stud. He is a stud. He is around. He's another guy that's like right behind Jamal Murray, in my opinion, too. He's a guy that can go out there, but he just doesn't have the playoff experience yet. And Lauri Markkanen should be more of a problem than he has been. Yeah. Wendell Carter has his injuries, but he's no slouch. And Kobe White, like you said, had a very good rookie year. And it's interesting. I watched ESPN after it, and Jay Williams went as someone who played for the Bulls. He was like, I'm not excited, but I don't hate it. It's one of those moves where it's I think
I agree with that too.
Yeah, like I would have loved Chauncey Billups to go there.
That would have been cool.
I thought that would have been amazing. I thought you saw a new coach with a new team, new system, talent. You would have really saw what Chauncey was early. Yeah. Someone said Sam Cassell, but I think Sam Cassell should get a more experienced job like Houston or something like that. And I would have loved Billy to go to Indy. I think him in Indiana would have been great.
I think that makes more sense to me than Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's kind of a thing, but hey, let's see what he does. Yeah. I mean, I like Billy. Hopefully he gets it done.
It's not like he's going to the Knicks where there's no talent. There's talent there. So hopefully the system he implements works. and we can see what he does with the young guys.
Right. I don't want to say the Knicks have no talent though. RJ got snubbed. RJ Barrett got snubbed from the All-NBA second team, man. All-NBA rookie second team. I don't know how Tyler Hero didn't make the first one either.
RJ Barrett is your young talent, sure.
Julius Randle's not bad.
Okay, he puts up 20 and 12.
That's it. That's it, though.
We all know it's a bad 20 and 12. It doesn't do
It is a bad 20. What? You're starting Taj Gibson at the 5. But, I mean, I just don't understand how they snubbed him from any all-rookie team. I thought he had a decent enough year to get on the second team.
He was improving too as the year went on.
Right, and they put Tyler Hero on the second team, and I was wondering how he didn't get on the first team over Brandon Clark. And Brandon Clark had a good year. I'm not going to shit on him.
He's good.
But all-rookie first team kind of year?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, all right, man. Now to get into NFL week 2. It happened. It came and gone. It was a good week.
Mm-hmm.
We might have a special guest tuning in, waiting for him, but we'll see to get his reaction to, especially some of y'all left some salty comments.
Yes.
Some of y'all felt some type of way.
We like the comments.
Yes, please keep commenting. Good or bad, we want to hear it. We'll address it. It's just it makes it more fun for us.
Yes.
So
we'll come right back at you if you comment. That's
of course. Of course. We will come at you here though. We're not typing in the comment section. No Twitter fingers here.
Yeah. But for week 2, I think, let's go over our teams. My Indianapolis Colts.
Good win.
Dominated the Vikings. Now, I was bagging on them last week, right? Saying we're not that good. I'm not excited about the year. He just brought me back like 10% on it. Our defense looked what I thought like it would look like in week 1. Jackson was like, okay, this is the defense that I want to see. Phillip Rivers still didn't have the greatest game, but the game was about our rookie running back, Jonathan Taylor.
Great game.
And this is what we drafted him for. Marlon Mack gets hurt week 1. He's our starter. I'm like, damn. But we have Nyheim Hines in him. But I think he's got to start. He's got to start now. We know what he did at Wisconsin, breaking records. Let the kid just run. And we saw what he did last week. He ran all over them. Really was our main point of the offense. Rivers had an all right game, and our defense held it down. I was very, very happy. I didn't bet on him this week because I was so mad at them last week, but I wish I did bet on them. But I'll take the 1-1. I don't know who we play next week, though. Oh, no, we play the Jets next week.
Oh, yeah, y'all play us next week. Good. Have fun. Just don't drop it.
Which is great. If we drop that, I'm going to be mad. But I was overall happy with I thought we'd bounce back. So I thought it'd be a close game against the Vikings. Because I didn't think they would look this bad. Honestly, they were a good team last year. Like, they're going to be a tough team, but we kind of wiped the floor with them in week 2. But how about your New York Jets? Let me see how you feel about
it. Oh, no, I don't want to talk about them. I like some of y'all are going to think I'm playing, but I'm really I'm getting to the point where I'm just – if they bring Adam Gase back next year, I'm not rooting for a football team. That's it. Like, we're in a scenario where we are clearly the worst team in the NFL. Nick Bosa goes down in the first quarter. A lot of injuries in week 2. Yeah. Hopefully all those guys get healthy, but Nick Bosa goes down in the first quarter, torn ACL. Solomon Thomas goes out right after him, torn ACL. But wait, before that, Raheem Mostert on the first or second play of the game runs for an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And I tuned out right there. I ended up coming back because I was like, maybe it was just a fluke. Quinnen Williams had a good game. He showed me some hope. But I think we're getting to the point where I don't want the number 1 pick. And I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion with a lot of Jets fans, but I don't want the number 1 pick because we're going to be in such a situation where it's going to be Sam or Trevor, and Sam's done nothing to get kicked out the door. And
I agree with you. You shouldn't – well, not that you shouldn't, I guess, want number 1 pick, but Sam is not the problem. We've talked about this in the past.
He was the 6th highest QB in QBR, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that on Twitter.
I know I saw you liking it on Twitter. The one throw he made, going to his left, like this, on a
sidearm, 30 yards.
There's only 5 to 10 maybe QBs in the NFL that can make that kind of throw.
Exactly.
He's one of them.
And I saw a lot of people retweet it and go, "Oh, if this was Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes, it would be on SportsCenter 5 times a day, and they haven't put this up." Yo, I hate to tell you, but we suck. They have no reason to put that up.
You're losing. Like, it's in a losing effort. Like
exactly. Like last year when he was making some of these throws and we were like 7-9, it was like, okay, like yeah, put it up. Like don't hate on us. Don't do it now. But when you lose 31-13 at home against the backups, like what do you want credit for?
Right.
We're bad. We're not good.
The thing is, if you guys were to get the number 1 pick, and it's going to be tank for Trevor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I don't think this is the right move, that tagging for Trevor would like overcome Sam Darnold. Like they'd be like, all right, we're going to take Trevor. We're going to trade Sam.
Oh no, they're going to do that. Look, Joe Douglas is a good
move. I do not think that's the right move.
Right. Well, Joe Douglas is a good GM. So if we have the first pick, we're going to take Trevor. Mm-hmm. We know he's the best player on the board. There's going to be no question of that. What we do with Sam would be the question, because I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Jets come in and try to do something different. Like maybe they go, hey, two QB system. Whoever is hot that week, you roll with it. And it's crazy. I know. It's a college thing. It's a very college thing. But if they're both playing well, until one has enough value to get traded, because Josh Rosen got traded 2 years ago for a second. So Sam Darnold, while it's his third year, he's worth a late first or like a future first at least. Maybe not the year that you're getting him.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad if the Colts sent you a late first for Sam Darnold. I'll tell you that.
There's a lot of teams that could use him. I think Dallas, if they give up on Dak, that would be a good fit. Indy, when Phillips done, if they say, you know what, we don't want to go to Jacob Eason, we're done with Jacoby, bring Sam in. Even if somehow Derek Carr in Vegas doesn't work out.
No, Martin Minshaw's not going to last.
See, I don't like him in Jacksonville, though, because that's kind of the same situation. I want him to go in a better situation. So
I understand that. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of fed up with them. But it looks like Johnny's coming in the building.
Perfect.
Johnny is here. Jon Entel. Oh, and the whip. Oh, he's connecting. Hold up. Yo.
Got me?
Yeah, we got you, man. What's going on?
What's going on, bro? What's going on?
Johnny, what up? Where are you at right now?
Dude, I'm out in the parking lot at work, bro. This is how I get away this is how I get away, because it's busy meetings all day, and
right.
Brofluent calls on the great one. I gotta sign in.
I texted you because we got a couple of comments on our video last week, which was a great video, and they're mostly about Dallas and they're mostly about Dak. So I had to get your response to these comments.
They're coming at you too, man. They're coming at you.
Yeah, it's typical 2020. Go ahead.
So
do you have them?
Yeah, I got them up on my phone.
I bet.
And we don't know these people, but we love the comments. And if you feel a certain way, comment it. Pat Ebron said, please get the clown. He's referring to you, John. On the lower right, back on to talk about Dak's Week 2 performance.
Okay, so we have 4 years of Dak Prescott.
Right.
And the guy wants to talk about Dak Prescott's Week 2 performance. He threw for a touchdown. In the first half, the offense was anemic. In the second half, the Falcons never left the locker room. So anybody and everybody throws for 400 yards against the Falcons. So congrats. Dak Prescott threw for 400 yards and 1 touchdown. Awesome performance. He ran for a few in himself that you, Eric, myself, anybody could have run for a touchdown there. They could have given it to Zeke, whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
It was simply a quarterback sneak. Very, very glad Dak Prescott once again beat an 0-1 team, never beat a team that's 500 or better. Clearly a team that's underperforming, has defensive woes across the board. So it's a very, very easy question to answer. To what was his name?
Pat
Ebron, right?
Ebron.
Okay, cool. So someone who doesn't matter. Listen, you can do a few things here. You can be a Dak Prescott apologist, right? Which many are, fine. Or you can see it for what it is. I've said it many times. Dak Prescott does amazing work off the field, inside the community, does great work. He's a philanthropist. He says the right things to the media. Obviously, the guys follow him. He's a leader in the locker room. I'm not talking about Dak Prescott. So it's very easy for me to separate it. A lot of people have a hard time with that, right? So they fall in love with a player and that's it. Like he's the best, greatest thing ever. Dak Prescott as a quarterback is mediocre. I'm a Cowboys fan. I expect when you're the leader of America's team for you to play like that. Now, I only come at Dak because Dak wants $40 million a year. That's all. So if Dak Prescott wanted mediocre money and Dak Prescott gave me this, I'm in. Great. By the way, week 1, tell me what Dak Prescott did against a team that he very well should have beaten. So tell me what Dak Prescott did week 1.
Right.
I'm waiting.
I'm going to surprise you right now. Jon Entel, we agree on Dak's performance week 2. We do. Because it was a good game. But he had 3 QB sneaks.
Yeah.
He had 3 QB sneaks. So I can't tell you that was an amazing performance. And I think you were a little harsh on him week 1, but that's your prerogative. You do you, man. You're entitled to your opinion. And I think the Falcons are a little better than we give it credit for, but that game was about Atlanta's collapse. So we agree, man. That's crazy to me. We agree on Dak for once.
Let me ask you something. Are the Atlanta Falcons better than we think? Last year, what was their record?
I don't know what the record was last year, but I could tell you they're giving signs of being the same team that they were last year, but they still have an explosive offense. And like you said, their issues are on defense, and that's on Dan Quinn, and that's their issue. But I don't think they're like a bottom team.
No.
Last year they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were picking like 12. I think they'll do around there. Like miss the playoffs.
I mean, bro, no, but they were like 6-10 last year. Look at their record; they were very bad, and this year it continued over. Here's the thing: massive amount of production, fantasy numbers from Matt Ryan, 4 touchdowns, 400 yards.
He outplayed Dak.
100%.
He did outplay Dak.
Wait, once again, the quarterback on the opposite team on a bad team outplays my quarterback.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying, dude. Like I want to see. Now I said it on my show yesterday. Dak also has to come back, make some good throws in the second half to put him in position down there. He did.
Right.
Dak did what he had to do to make some of those plays. Awesome. There's no way, shape, or form any good team gives up that onside kick. There's no way, shape, or form.
That was so bad. That was awful.
There's no way, shape, or form any good team cannot control the ball against a team that had no business being in it in the second half. So the Falcons collapsed and therefore left an opening for garbage yards and garbage time to be made up. And Dak took advantage of it. And by the way, guys, look at any game. Last year, all of his stats came against teams that were 500 or below that he padded his stats against. I'm not telling anybody anything they can't research. Pat, don't come at me unless you Google it, bro. That's all I'm asking. That's it, dude. If you're going to come at me, it's fine. Anybody can say what they want. I'm okay with it, right? Just Google it, though. Don't sound like a moron. Next question.
There's your response, Pat.
This is a long one. This next one's a long one.
Pat, you got to comment your response back to it. All right, so the next one, a complicated loon. I'm not even going to say his Pale Moon is the last name. He says, at Brofluent, you list a bunch of names on the Cowboys D-line, but exactly what has that D-line accomplished in-game? Names mean absolutely shit if they aren't getting shit done on the field. You guys need to start watching film and not paying attention to just names. you'll see that the Cowboys aren't as good as the names on the roster suggest.
Okay. So another easy one. So
and Loon, I'll try to Loon Zatis. That's what I'll say his name.
We'll call him Lou. We'll call him Lou.
We'll call him Lou, yeah.
Cool. I like it. So here's the thing. I actually happen to agree that paper champions, right, as we call teams that have good names on paper champions don't always translate into wins and production. The difference is Aldon Smith, who's missed a few years because of his suspension, came back and wreaked havoc all over the field.
Agreed.
Griffin also was a big loss by the Vikings, and when he was there, wreaked havoc. And by the way, we see it now. The Vikings are anemic on defense, and he's a key loss, okay? Dontari Poe is a staple up front, and DeMarcus Lawrence is one of the greatest sack artists in all the NFL, hence the contract he got, because for 2 years in a row, he led the league in sacks. Now, last year we saw the guy from the Buccaneers. What's his name?
Barrett.
Shaquille Barrett.
Okay, so he led the league in sacks. There's a few guys right behind him that are great. The NFL is full of very, very, very good sack artists, right? So my thing is this. He didn't just put together names. He didn't go out and sign a Michael Strahan. He signed guys still in their prime that clearly showed week 1, week 2, they're still a little rusty, and they're going to be there. I think our biggest loss was Byron Jones, who was, in my mind, a top 3 cornerback in all the NFL. He got big money from the Dolphins, and I think that was a guy you don't replace shutdown corners. And it puts a lot of pressure on a defensive line that didn't get an off season to work on. But here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys defensive front has shown in the past that they've been allowed to be pushed around. If we watched the Dallas Cowboys against the Rams a couple years back when the Rams made their push, the Cowboys got destroyed up front, and Gurley didn't even play. They ran for 250 yards on us. So the Cowboys front seven, as nice as it is, and yes, the names, bro, anybody would like to have Jalen Smith, who's a Pro Bowl linebacker. Sean Lee's at the tail end of his career, injury prone, unfortunately. Leighton Vander Esch can't stay on the field, but when he is dynamic. The front four should be better than they are, and I think they will. I think they'll come back. But what puts pressure on good QBs? Not having a good offensive line. Not having weapons to throw to. We see it with Sam Darnold right now. How can Sam Darnold be productive when he has no wide receivers? How can Sam Darnold be productive when Le'Veon Bell's not on the field? So it's the same thing on the other end on football. The defense, if guys can't cover wide receivers, then it puts a lot more pressure on the front guys to get to the quarterback. And if they don't, it looks as though they're worse than they are. And he says, look at film. Bro, we can look at film all we want, but if we're looking at film, then how are the same guys who say Dak Prescott's good saying they're good, saying that he's good? So all I ask is, if I want to find something on YouTube that'll say, this person in history was the greatest. If I want to say that Pete Rose was the greatest hitter, I'll find only good Pete Rose videos. But at the other end, if I want to find that Pete Rose sucked, I'll look for bad Pete Rose videos. So whatever you want to search is what you're going to find.
Yeah.
And that's what we are as people in society. So yes, his point, paper champions don't win paper, on paper, it doesn't win you championships. It's a great point, and it's a valid point. But also, if he watched it, he would have seen Aldon Smith was causing chaos. DeMarcus Lawrence is not getting to the quarterback, and he's a big name that should be. And he got paid the contract because he earned it. Dontari Poe was a great pickup that didn't cost us a lot of money. And Everson Griffin, also, we took a chance on him for low money. Yeah. So if I got to take a bet, I'm saying, hey, we took a lot of gambles. Let's see what happens. Okay, fine. But they're not producing as we think they will. And by the way, as time goes on, they will. They won't be the problem. You can take that to the bank, Big Lou.
See, I mean, I agree with both of you. Like, he's right. Paper champions don't mean anything. Same way you are. Paper champions don't mean anything. And in that first week, which is what we were responding to, the Rams O-line did dominate. Aldon Smith had a game, but Everson Griffin took some bad penalties. He didn't play well. But also, like you said, it was week 1 with no preseason. Guys are in a new system. And I believe he said that. He said something about schemes in there and guys adjusting. Well, that's not watching film. Like, that's not succumbing to a narrative. That's a fact. And I feel like we've taken that into account. And, I mean, hey, Lou, haters going to hate, bro. Haters going to hate.
Think about this. In any other time, right, there would have been a couple preseason games to sort of work out the kinks and maybe see how much conditioning a guy needs. Some of these guys have been out for a little bit, bro. You know, Aldon Smith's been out for years, dude.
5 years of not playing in the NFL.
And he's still in his prime. So the thing of it is there's only so much conditioning someone can do without doing in-game conditioning with. And anybody who's played the game knows there's a major
100%.
difference. Mm-hmm. So if you're not in that game mode, you're not going to be there. Now, mind you, the first 2 weeks on my show, Danny said it best. He said, bro, look at the play call in the first 2 weeks. It looks like they were doing their preseason game calling, trying to see what works. Bro, the Cowboys have gone for 3 fake punts in 2 weeks.
That was insane. That was actually insane.
You're not going to see – the coaches don't have an opportunity to see if their guys can pull it off unless they do it. So try it and see. Throw something against the wall and see what sticks, because historically you can come back from being 0-2, especially in the division we're in, by taking gambles. We're not in the NFC West where everybody's 2-0, right? So we can actually take gambles and see what happens and figure it out going forward and say, okay, week 3, we're 1-1. You know what? Let's see what happens now. So I'm okay with the play calling, and I'm okay with the mediocre play. The laws of average, I say it a lot, man. On my show, I said it a lot. Eric, you were tuned in, man. You were geared up yesterday. Of
course, every week, man.
The laws of average will always prevail. And what I mean by that is, if Dak Prescott ends up throwing for, first 2 weeks, he throws 500 yards week 1, 500 yards week 2. Bro, at a certain point, he's going to throw for 225 and 2 INTs. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's that guy. Every single year, it feels like we're always talking about Fitzmagic, right? I feel like we're always talking about him in the beginning of the season.
It comes out for a few weeks. And
then the laws of average kick in, and he always plummets, right? And that's why he's not the franchise QB for a team, because the laws of average come into effect. So as I say, if you guys get caught up in this, what have you done for me lately? And this is 2020, and this is the society we live in. I'm not condemning Big Lou or Pat for living in the moment. I'm cool with it. But it's also beneficial to watch what you've had over the last few years. They probably can't even tell me the college Dak came from. It's like, guys, you got to look at the total history of somebody. And stats don't lie. And that's why I say I know what I have in Dak, and I know what I have in the defense. These guys are going to do what they're going to do. I'm confident. So let's see to the end of the season. And if Lou wants to tell me after 16 weeks, we know Dallas is going 8-8. Laws of average, boys, 9-7. That's who they are. That's who they've always been.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last 25 years. So if you want to tell me, bro, Dallas is not, okay, fine. But don't tell me after 2 weeks, guys who have been out for years or games are not game ready and look bad. All right, bro, come on. Come see me after week 17 and let's see how they are. Let's see who the real cause of the problem is.
Right. And to come at Lou again, because this was a very critical comment. I feel like it was more than just coming at John. I feel like it was coming at all of us, saying we were just promoting a narrative. As someone who watched the game, and we're going to be honest about it, Dallas had 3 fumbles in the first half. The rushing game was going, and CeeDee Lamb was going. That's what got him back into the game. Dallas stole one. They did, because Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley were balling. Dak started slinging that in the second half, but like we said, 3 QB sneaks, and that Dallas D-line got its first sack in the fourth quarter with 4:30 left. So let's check the film. And like we said, Dallas stole one, man. They stole one, no matter who it reflects on. So,
and Eric, I'm gonna piggyback off that, dude. Think about this. Zeke Elliott coughed the ball up, short field that the defense's backs were up against. 2 fake punts the defense's back is up against. Okay,
100%.
Dallas gave up 29 points in the first half. In the second half, 10.
Exactly.
So all I'm saying is he's saying he watched film, but he looked at the score, right?
Right.
If you really watch film, you could see that in the second half, momentum changed a little, and they locked it down. Locked it down. So who locked it down? Dak Prescott or the guys that you're saying are overrated and only held them for 10 points in the second half with the same players, Ryan, Ridley, Jones? Come at me, bro. That's all I'm saying. A tale of two halves.
Tale of two halves. Exactly. And
Obviously,
while I feel you are still being a little hard on Dak, I do think it comes to Mike McCarthy because, like you said, 2 fake punts in the first half gave him a short field.
Yeah.
And your D-line not getting a sack till the fourth quarter is ridiculous. But
Matt
Ryan had 3 touchdowns on like 15 passing attempts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so
stupid. It's stupid, bro. It's not an indication of how good or bad the team is. I honestly, it actually should prove my point that they're better, and that's why the coach almost like, and I'm
almost
with
cost you a
McCarthy
game.
2 games. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. Like, dude, guys who are so critical. I'm critical of that because I'm on 4 years of it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm critical of it. I'm just saying that I can't be critical of someone I saw 2 games. I saw Dak 4 years.
Right. And
Dallas
isn't a finished product. I feel like we all agree on that. With McCarthy
Dallas
with McCarthy and the amount of new players.
Injuries. Bro, he's got the most players on the injury reserve in the NFL. The most.
Yeah, more than the 49ers?
Come on, bro. No, bro, he's got more.
That's great. I didn't know that.
More, dude. It's crazy. Bro, people don't get it. Chidobe Awuzie, Leighton Vander Esch, Tyron Smith. Bro, these are all major losses. A perennial all-pro left tackle out.
Right.
Starting cornerback out. A Pro Bowl linebacker out. Broken collarbone. Bro, these are major.
I agree.
Our fucking starting center
retires.
Stop it, Lou.
And hey, man, before we move on, I gotta ask you one more thing. For some baseball news, Sandy Alderson's coming back. Cohen's bringing him back. How do you feel?
An old school name.
Eric. It's not Omar Minaya. I like Sandy. It's not Omar Minaya.
Eric, stick with me, bro. I'm going to teach you a thing or two. I love it, dude. I love it. Sandy Alderson, 72 years old, a baseball legend. A's has been with the A's, and the guy knows the system. By the way, watch what I said yesterday. Can we get somebody from the White Sox, from the A's, or from the Rays? The first move he makes, he gets Sandy back, who knows New York, who's put together teams in New York, and he's faced the New York media.
Was the last GM to get us to a World Series.
Brother, I'm telling you, listen, people don't realize that there's a reason why I said what I said yesterday. I'm not this young guy who's just watched the Mets for 1 year. I'm 34. I was on my school bus in 8th grade when we were in the Subway Series against the Yankees. I still have the original newspaper articles, still, of the Subway Series in 2000 with the Mets and the Yankees. I still watch that game and have the newspaper article when Piazza hit that home run after September 11th.
Yep.
People got to remember, man. I'm not one of these young bucks, dude. I am absolutely a guy who has seen it before, and I say it based on previous experience. That's all.
All right. So fair to say you're a fan of it. Fair to say you're a fan.
I love it. Love it.
Perfect. And only thing I'm going to say is Omar Minaya, Mets GM from 2004 to 2010, 1 playoff appearance.
That's okay. Jerry Jones, America's team owner for the last 35 years, and in the last 25, 3 playoff appearances and 1 win. So we can talk about that all day also.
I got you, man.
I just love very poorly run teams. What can I say?
Well,
I got you, man.
Thanks for hopping on and responding to these guys. We'll let you get back to work.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely,
good hearing
boys.
from you, bro.
No doubt about it. Love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll catch you later.
Sir. See you, man.
Later.
All right. Hey, y'all got your answers. Johnny came for the answers. Y'all came at him.
Gotta love Johnny's tapes, man.
Of course, man. Entertaining guy. If you haven't, check out My Sports Radio at Hamilton Radio. Good guys over there. But this is going to segue us into one of our last points before we get off.
Mm-hmm.
I got something for you, Tom. We're going to play a little game, bro.
Oh, I'm excited, bro.
You have 3 options. Like it, love it, or hate it.
Like it, love it, or hate it. All right.
I'm going to read to you my NFL Week 2, post-Week 2, pre-Week 3 power rankings.
I like this.
We're going to go by 5s to make it more fair and go through it, and then I'll give you my bottom 10.
Okay.
I think, well, it would be my bottom we'll do my bottom 7. We'll get up to 25 by 5s.
All right. Like it, love it, or hate it.
Like it, love it, or hate it. So, at number 1, and you could tell me, you could like it, but you could tell me what you hate.
Right.
You can go through each team. I'm just going to read to you by 5s.
Okay.
Number 1, the Baltimore Ravens, 2-0.
Love it.
Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs, 2-0. Number 3, the Seattle Seahawks, 2-0. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers, 2-0. And number 5, the Los Angeles Rams, 2-0.
Okay. So number 1, Ravens, love it. I think they look like the best team in football. And I think going into week 3, they will beat the Chiefs this weekend. I believe that's a Monday night game. I think they will beat the Chiefs after what we saw from week 2. Who's number 2 again?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, I think they slide a little bit after – listen, a win is a win, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still think in power rankings, you slide. I think you move up to Seahawks, which are 3, right?
Yes.
Seahawks go to 2. Kansas City goes to 3. 4 is Green Bay, which I think they've looked great.
Yes,
their defense lets up a little bit as the game goes on, but it's because they've been up a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Like so at week 1 and week 2, they had to come back. And then number 5 is the Rams, who they look good to me. They look like a really good team. This week, I believe they played the Bills at Buffalo. I still think that's a win. It's not a crowd. It's not freezing yet, right?
Right.
People come in, they'll be 3-0. So for the most part, I'll say I like it. I say I like that category.
All right. For my reasoning for it, like you said, the Ravens beat the Texans. It was a close. Now, while the score was 33-16, it was a closer game than people thought, and you'll see how that reflects in the Texans rating more than the Ravens rating.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Chiefs had a tough one. Had to get Harrison Butker to hit 3 straight 50-yarders. That was one of the best performances by a kicker.
Give my man some
props. For real. He deserves a round of applause. That was cold. So the Chiefs dropped 1 for me. They went to 2. Seattle, big win against the Patriots. So they're 3. Packers, like you said, they've put up 40 points in 2 straight games.
We want to keep talking shit about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's washed.
He's a bad man. He is a bad man. And like we both said with the Rams, very dynamic offense. 2 tough wins against the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you liking it, man.
I like it. I had to switch a couple, but I like it for the most part.
Got you. On to the next 5. So to round out the top 10. At 6, the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
At 7, the New Orleans Saints. our first 1-1 team.
Ooh.
At 8, the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
At 9, the New England Patriots.
I was waiting for that team to come up.
And at 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the Steelers
like it, love it, or hate it.
Okay, the Steelers are the only two. Like they're 2-0.
Steelers are 2-0. Patriots are 1-1. Titans are 2-0. Saints are 1-1, and the Bills are 2-0.
Okay, I'm gonna hate this one.
You're gonna hate it.
Why?
Whoa!
I'll tell you why. Saints, I think we saw last week, and I don't want to overreact. Right, it's 1 week. It's the Vegas opening game. Obviously, everything's favoring the Raiders, but I think it was a problem what we saw with Drew Brees' arm. Right, that thing looked weak.
Noodle.
It looked weak. And listen, I know Michael Thomas is out, but he's gonna be out for a couple weeks. It's not 1 week, right?
It's 2 to 4. I believe it's 2 to 4. So we'll see.
Listen, if it goes back in 2, you're all right. If it's 4, I think they're in some trouble. Now, I don't understand why the Saints don't just hand the ball to Alvin Kamara more.
Do you know what's funny? I feel like they actually did give him. I feel like they did give him the ball a lot in that game. I was watching it live, and they did challenge him in between the tackles, and he showed me a little something. But in the second half, I feel like he proved my point a little bit of you might be top 5, but I can't stamp it yet. There's still a question there.
They split too much with Murray. Keep going to Kamara.
I think there's a reason for that, though. He looks like he runs out of gas.
Yeah,
he looks like his stamina is a little low.
Anyway, I think they drop. So who was
past 7? So we had Bills at 6.
Bills are at 6. They're dropping as well. I think they're 2-0, right?
Yeah, 2-0.
Just edging out the Dolphins. Now, listen, Josh Allen made a throwaway in that game that was incredible. Incredible.
I agree.
I think they're the second best team now in the AFC East. I believe them and the Saints drop. You move up New England and you move up Pittsburgh. I'm almost flopping it, to be honest with you.
So you want Pittsburgh at 6?
I want New England at 6.
Pittsburgh at 7.
Pittsburgh at 7. I want Buffalo at 8. New Orleans at 9.
And then the Titans at 10?
Titans can stay at 10.
See, I feel like – all right, so my rebuttal to this would be I have the Bills at 6 because while they beaten 2 bad teams, they did beat the Dolphins. Like, they won that game, and it was clear they were the better team. I know the scoreboard says 3 points. Well, it was a garbage time TD. They were actually up by 11.
Listen, I was watching the game in the fourth quarter, and the Dolphins were moving.
They were moving back. I'm not going to lie. They were moving back, and Josh made some throws that could have been picked off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looks good. He looks really good, but he's still making me a little nervous. But I feel like that just leapfrogged them over the Saints because they're handling their business and the Saints aren't. Yeah. Now, for the Saints, I had them at 3 last week. So I dropped them 4 spots. And the reason I put them at 7 is because I don't think the Titans are better than them yet. And I don't think the Patriots have showed me enough to say they're better than the Titans. Because a lot of people are disrespecting the Titans now. Like, they didn't just beat a good Jaguars team and then beat a really good Broncos team. Well, not really good. The Jaguars?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to see later in this ratings where the Jaguars are.
Come on, bro. You know
the Jaguars on paper do not look good, but the way they're performing, we'll get to that. I have a whole thing for that.
Anyway,
they beat a good Jaguars team.
That category.
All right. Okay. Well, I also think the Steelers getting too much credit right now because they beat the Broncos by 5, and Jeff Driscoll almost put it in the end zone and called game. Yeah. And you beat the Giants by 10. Like, they're barely a top 10 team to me. It's only because they're 2-0.
I got them at 7.
All right. So my next 5. So the first 5 out. At 11, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, 2-0.
2-0.
12, the Arizona Cardinals, 2-0. 13, the San Francisco 49ers, 1-1. 14, the Dallas Cowboys, 1-1. And 15, the Tampa Bay Bucks, 1-1.
Okay.
Like it, love it, or hate it.
I think I'm going to hate it again. I'm a hater right now.
Damn, you a hater, man.
Raiders are at 11, right?
Right.
And
just outside the top 10. I don't want to overreact.
I understand they're 2-0. They just beat a Saints team that we had high expectations for. Who's right behind the Saints that you said?
The Cardinals.
Well, the Cardinals are put them in front of the Raiders. They're 11.
You're crazy.
Behind the Cardinals was who?
The 49ers.
49ers. Put them above.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
The Raiders are 2-0. The Niners are 1-1.
That's fine.
They just lost half of their defensive line.
That's fine. I still know which team is better. 49ers above the Raiders. Raiders at 13.
I have the Cowboys at 14. Cowboys.
Keep the Cowboys there.
And then the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, I'll keep Tampa there because I've had high hopes for Tampa, but they've kind of slowed me down a little bit through 2 weeks. And I know they beat Carolina, but Carolina really ain't shit. So
here's my thing. In the Tampa game, I watched it, and at the end of the game, I'm looking, and I was like, why is Carolina still in this game?
Yeah.
Like why? Like, Tampa's just not showing enough right now.
Now, I think Tampa's a team that I said before, it's going to take a little bit for them to get in sync.
Right, they have to. No Chris Godwin, I get. They used Leonard Fournette very well. They used LaShawn McCoy more than I thought they would. But Brady.
I think maybe week 5 we'll start to see what kind of team Tampa really is.
I got
But for now, 15 is good.
All right, and then, bro, I think you're overreacting with the Cardinals, man. You beat the Redskins 30-15, and you scored. You beat Kyler threw a bad pick. He came out today and said D-Hop ran the wrong route, so I get that. I'll give him a little pass. But while Kyler had a game, you played the Washington football team.
Hey, that team is not as bad as people think, though. Let's be real.
They're not as good as people think. They're not as good as Jacksonville. They're not as good as Jacksonville.
I'm going to have to question you on that one.
You think Washington's better than Jacksonville?
I don't think they're better than Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's going to, they're going to slow down. Just like our man John just said, law of averages, right?
Well, keep in mind, this is after week 2. This is assessing 2 weeks of football.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Still, I don't believe in Jacksonville will win it.
So, all right. I mean, okay. I don't want to put the Niners ahead of the Raiders either, but we can move past that. I think you're gonna love this next 5 because this next 5 are the teams.
Debatable, really?
I don't think the next 5. I don't think is really debatable because I think it's those last 5 teams. So
okay.
Number 16, we have your Indianapolis Colts.
Respect.
Number 17, we have the Chicago Bears, the last 2-0 team. Number 18, we have the Houston Texans. Number 19, the Minnesota Vikings. And number 20, the Atlanta Falcons.
I think I like it.
What don't you love about it?
I don't know if I love it. See, if I'm going to say I love it, that would mean you had to go 5 for 5, right? That's what love it means, right?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Like it is that 3 to 4 range. Hate it is 0 to 2. I think the Colts at 16 is perfect. That's exactly where we are.
Right behind the Bucs.
What's the team after that again?
The Bears.
We're
2-0.
I have the worst memory, so that's why I forget things.
You're chilling.
The Bears, we both know they're 2-0, but they're not
really 2-0. And the next 3 teams are 0-2.
Right, and the next 3 teams that you say, I think, are probably better than the Bears. I believe the Texans are better than the Bears. Now, you can say what you want. Maybe the Bears have more defensively, but I believe in Deshaun Watson more than I believe in Mitch Trubisky. So I'm gonna I'll keep the Bears there because they're 2-0, but just know that I think Houston's a better team.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you have who?
Texans, Vikings, Falcons.
Okay, I'm going to put the Falcons ahead of the Vikings. I think even though the Falcons had an epic collapse to the Cowboys, that team is still dynamic. I think they pick up their first win this week, too, in week 3. I'd put the Vikings at 20. I think the Vikings look really shitty. Kirk Cousins does not look good, and normally that's a team that relies on its defense, and that defense does not look good. And I think we see how much Stephon Diggs meant to that team, too. Listen, Thielen's a good receiver, but I think Diggs was the true – Thielen put up huge numbers, but people were worried about Diggs, too, on the deep ball, right? Thielen's that middle, just barely past the first down kind of receiver. Right. Diggs, that deep threat, opened up Thielen. I think Vikings at 20, and, yeah, that's where I'll finish that.
So you're switching 2. You're switching the Falcons over the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for me, I think I took a lot of week 1 into account, and the Falcons got waxed by Seattle. So they only moved down 1 spot. I had them at 19 last week. And the Vikings had a close game with Green Bay. And I agree with your Diggs point because their issue is that second receiver. Because when Kirk can't throw to Adam Thielen, he's really not throwing to anybody. So it's going to predicate on Justin Jefferson or BC. Yeah, or BC Johnson. BC Johnson hasn't been bad, but you're relying on those two guys to really carry you. So, all right, you like it. I'm not going to be upset. All right, and these are our last 5 before we go into the bottom trenches of the NFL.
Right.
At 21, we have the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
At 22, we have the Cleveland Browns. At 23, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 24, we have the Denver Broncos. And at 25, we have the Washington football team.
All right, I love this list. I love it. I think I'm just switching one.
Who?
Oh, wait, did I say if I switch one, I like it?
I mean, you said you'd like all 5 to love it.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so then we'll like it then. I'm not going to love it. Because I think, who's the first 2 again?
I have the Chargers, the Browns, the Jags, the Broncos.
I'm switching the Browns and the Chargers.
Now, you think the Browns are better than the Chargers?
Yes, I do. I know the Chargers played very well against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs look a lot of sync. I think the Browns are a better team. They finally picked up that win week 2. I'll put them in front of the Chargers. The rest is the same.
Okay, I'm not upset about that. My thinking going into that was I had the Browns very deep down after that Ravens game. I was like, oh, here we go again. Same old Cleveland Browns. And the Chargers, I had at 21 after beating Cincy. It wasn't a clear win, but, you know, you got it done. You're 1-0, so you get to be in the 20s. And then they have a good game against the Chiefs and lose a close one, so I didn't want to move them up or down. So that's why I kept them there. So you do like the Jags at 23 after all that?
Listen.
They're good. I'm telling. My explanation would be Gardner Minshew's played really good. They're exceeding expectations. They've had 2 close games with 2 good teams. They beat y'all, and then they lost to the Titans by 3.
Yeah.
So,
listen. As of now, I'm going to leave it because they're 1-1. But the law of averages will kick in, and they will be a bad team, and they'll drop to that 25 to 31 range.
All right. So. 26-32 right now. Here, the bottom of the NFL. Number 26, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 27, the Miami Dolphins. Number 28, the Detroit Lions. 29, the New York Giants. 30, the Cincinnati Bengals. 31, the Carolina Panthers. And the worst team in the NFL, the New York Jets. Everyone is 0-2. Everyone has showed us that they might be tanking for Trevor.
Listen, I love your bottom 6. I'll say that. I do love your bottom 6. Listen, they're all 0-2. We don't expect anything out of these teams. I have no complaints about that. I think the Jets, sorry to say, are the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, no, it's clear. We've talked about it.
The Dolphins put up a good fight against a good Bills team. You know, the Bengals have a rookie quarterback with Joe Burrow, but they haven't played – I didn't think they've played horrible, though.
You
know,
they have no O-line. Their defense is good.
1-1, if we're being real, too.
Well, I mean, their kicker pulled his hamstring. He pulled his hamstring.
Okay, but it's like 30-yard field goal for the win, bro.
Bro, you kicking a 30-yarder with a pulled hamstring?
I don't kick with your other foot at that point, bro. I don't know what you want me to do. It's 30 yards.
He pulled it when he swung his leg back.
Picking up and running in, bro. I don't know, on one leg.
And for those that don't know, me and Tom have both had hip injuries.
Oh
my if my hammy
No, yeah, I understand.
If my hammy tightened up while I was about to kick something, I would probably be on the ground for the next 30 minutes.
I understand it, but I'm just saying a 30-yard field goal, right? We expect that to go in. We expect to win. Now, he did pull his hamstring, but
right.
I love that list. I think and those are the teams that are going to stay there. I don't see that moving up. You
don't see Philly ever moving up.
No, I don't think they're good.
Damn.
I don't think Philly's good.
See, Philly's my X factor. That's why they're at 26. Because
maybe they'll get to 23. I don't think
they always start slow. I mean, they usually don't start this slow, but Carson, it's really because Carson Wentz needs to play better. Yeah. Their team's hurt. Let's not get it.
Eagles fans also did not expect this.
Oh,
Every week on Twitter, that is the most things I see. Eagles fans going crazy about how
don't overreact. Don't trade them. Don't get upset. Don't bench them. Jalen Hurts isn't going to do much better. I'm telling you right now. Like, their O-line's hurt. While that's not the problem, like, he's trying to do too much. We all know we all seen guys that just try to do too much.
He's trying to make the big play every time.
He's trying to show he was the MVP that year. Yeah. That's what he's trying to do.
Scramble out, make a crazy throw.
Yeah, force it in tight windows.
Just stay simple.
Right.
And I will say this, though. What is it, Miles Sanders, they're back. Mm-hmm. He looks good.
He looked good. Bad fumble to start, but good game.
Like running the ball, he looks good.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And then the last one, bro. Can someone get Matt Stafford out of Detroit? Like, that team is so bad, and like,
and he's a good quarterback, and we know he's a good quarterback.
He's a great he's arguably a top 10 quarterback, and he's getting wasted, man.
He has a crazy arm. We know he puts up yards, he puts up touchdowns, but Detroit.
Every time they look good, it's because of him, and every time they look bad, it's because anyone else is on the field.
I don't know his contract. I know he signed a big deal. I don't know when that was. But
yeah, he's got to. I don't know where he's got to go. I like him in a lot of places.
I like him in a lot of places, but Detroit, yeah, they fumbled that one, man.
Yeah, they really did. They dropped the ball. Joke from week 1.
Yeah, they did.
But all right, man. So as a whole, the list, like it, love it, or hate it.
I'll like it. I think I liked it more than I had one hate, and then I think the rest were likes, and the last was love. So I'll like it overall. It wasn't a bad list.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be hard for me to love it. It's gonna be hard.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to get all 30. You have to get like. I'm gonna have to get 25 out of 32 teams right for you.
Right, and obviously we're gonna differ on some shit. So I'll like your list. Not too bad.
I got you. Well, hey man, I think we should sign it out, man. Give him a quick one.
I agree.
All right. Appreciate everyone for coming. Like, comment, subscribe. If your name's Pat.
If you want to ever have some FaceTime on this show, comment it, email us. We will gladly bring fans.
Brofluent at Gmail. Any hate mail would be blocked. No, I'm playing.
You are allowed to come on and make your point. We would love to hear it.
Of course. We want to hear everybody. So, hey, bro.
Perfect.
So, signing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Quick one for y'all. And we'll see you, man.
All right, my brother.
Doses.
Yeah.